Hi guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. My name's Alicia. Today we have joining us Senior Mortgage Advisor, Mr. Tanner Coles. Thank you very much, Tanner.
Thanks very much.
So we've been talking about the home buying process. And in our previous discussion, we kind of went over the second step, which was to speak to a professional. So today I'd like to ask you a couple questions about the third step, which would be getting a pre-approval. I was hoping you could just go into some detail.
Yeah, so this is the very next step. Once you've contacted your mortgage advisor, your realtor, you're definitely going to want to get a proper pre-approval put together. So this is where your mortgage advisor will help you through a mortgage application and also ask you for some specific income documents. And together, we look at your application, your income, credit, and just make sure that all those things are in great order. And from there, we can work out what your qualifications might be. So in terms of loan amount, but also what you might be comfortable with. And we can also go over various products at that point in time as well.
Okay, so when you're going through the pre-approval process, I mean, I have friends who are in the home buying process right now, and they'll get off the phone with their bank and they'll tell me that they're pre-approved. And I just don't personally understand, you know, it seems so important how that could be just done over the phone. Is there a difference between that?
Yeah, so a lot of times we find that when individuals are speaking with their banks, they believe that they've been pre-approved. Okay, and a lot of times what happens is that they might have a rate held for them, and it's different. So a rate hold can actually be done verbally. So this sounds maybe like your friends, where they've called their bank or they had a quick chat in the branch and they have a rate held. All that is a rate, but it's subject to full qualification when they buy a house. The problem with that is that nothing has been verified or checked. So your friends, for example, are thinking they're pre-approved, and they go out, they're shopping for a home, they make an offer, only to learn later that they're not actually qualified because their income was not verified. Maybe there's something wrong with their credit. Things like that do come up quite often.
Okay.
So a mortgage advisor, most of them, will do a mortgage pre-approval. So this is where we will vet all of your information right up front. So we will do a full mortgage application, we look at the credit bureau, and we verify all of your income documents. This will mitigate many, many obstacles down the road. And oftentimes we do find little blips on the credit bureau, sometimes there's mistakes. The way job letters are written are very important. So we do a lot of this legwork right up front, and this makes the buying process a lot easier and much less stressful when you enter into the approval process later on.
So when you get a pre-approval through a mortgage advisor, you're providing them with documentation. They are giving you an idea as to what you can afford, giving you some confidence when you go and shop your home. Does a pre-approval through an advisor also hold your rate, such as the rate hold?
Yeah, good question. So absolutely. So your rate will be held for 90 to 120 days. Just depends on the lender. So you not only have a rate hold, you have a fully qualified pre-approval, which will give you a lot of confidence for yourself and with your realtor. So you can go in and shop and make offers, knowing that you have a very good chance of obtaining a full approval later on.
Okay, so now that I have a pre-approval, I've been looked at as a borrower. I've been given a rough amount as to what I can afford, and my rate's going to be held for the next 120 days. I'd say I feel pretty confident to go and look for a home. Now, does that give me a guarantee that when I go and buy the home, I'm going to be accepted, it's going to be approved? Is that the same sort of thing?
Close. So a pre-approval is just that, you're pre-approved. Okay, so it's just the baseline, lets you know that we don't see any issues or hiccups. But the approval is really where the rubber hits the road. So an approval happens when you have an accepted offer on a home. And these are when lenders get a bit more serious. So this is when they want to look at your application now, right? And they're going to look at your credit just like we did at the very beginning. They're going to look at your income just like we did in the beginning. And most importantly, they're going to look at the property. And this is why you can't get approved until you have a property in mind. Because the bank still has to look at the home and make sure that it is something that they do want to in fact lend on.
Okay, well thank you very much for explaining that. That certainly provides me with some clarification. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and be sure to join us next time.